Hi folks, my name's Chloe Wood. I'm the Export Sales and Marketing Manager here at Kilchoman Distillery on the island of Islay, and today I'm just going to tell you a little bit more about Sanaig, our core whisky at the distillery. But of course, should you have any questions after this, please feel free to reach out to any of the sales teams in your market or contact us directly at Kilchoman and we'll be more than happy to help you out. But if you have tasted Sanaig, it's a good chance to revisit it. If you haven't, it's a good chance to get involved now. So best of both. Before we jump into the whisky itself, looking at the box that it comes in. Now you can see Sanaig. This is named after the northwestern point, just a short drive away from the distillery. So again, like Macker Bay, it's related to the place. It's all about these locations on the island itself. Now, when we start to jump into the whisky itself, looking at the bottle, it's quite clear what styles of casks these are because everything we do at Kilchoman is natural. It's natural whisky being produced without colour and non-chill filtered. But when we start to chat about the differences between Macker Bay and Sanaig, it all comes down to the maturation. So the age profile is very similar. The styles are created with the same 50 parts per million malt, but the flavours are completely different. And this comes down to the maturation profile. So looking at the bottle, but also the carton, you'll see on the front that 30% is created with bourbon. Now these are all Buffalo Trace bourbon casks, direct from Kentucky. These are first fill at the distillery. And you also have 70% Oloroso sherry hogshead casks. These come direct from Miguel Martin in Spain. And again, our first fill at the distillery. And you can tell straight away by the style of the liquid in the glass here that they are active. They're so active. As soon as that spirit is added into these casks for maturation, it's taking that flavour, that colour and the aroma ultimately from the oak. So looking at the front of the bottle here, you'll notice that there's not an age statement on the Sanaig, just like Macker Bay. When it was first released in 2014, it would have been around 3 to 4 years old. Now we're looking at a whisky that sits anywhere between 5 to 8 years old. So although the style and the profile has stayed very similar in Sanaig from the first release, it has evolved. And that's come from experience in ourselves as a distillery, the maturation styles, but also the casks that we've had access to as well. So with that in mind, even though I've said it's a vatting, it is single malt because it all comes from Kilchoman. When we start to look at how active the sherry casks are, as I said, you can see that the colour is clear as day, that you've got something that's going to be full of flavour. Now, when we nose, instead of Macker Bay where it's more citrus and floral driven and that fruit, what we actually get on the nose is that toffee, that chocolate. It's a much more dark style of single malt. It's more robust in the smoke, I would say. We've got that dry peat smoke that Kilchoman's known for. On the taste, you're going to get that dry fruit, you know, that berry influence, and then you get that bit of spice from the sherry oak coming in at the back there. So a really elegant expression of a heavily peated single malt coming from Islay. This whisky here, of course, is 50 parts per million. So this is made with commercial malt, so heavily peated, but completely different to the others on the island in the sense it's not overpowering. It's not going to give you something that is so heavily peated that all you taste is peat smoke. You've got balance, you have the fruit, you've got that freshness, then you get the sherry and the bourbon influence on top of that as well. This whisky is served at 46%, same as Macker Bay, and that allows you to taste on its own, or should you want to add a little drop of water, you can do so just to allow some of that smoke to come out in the glass. Now, we're very fortunate that this is a continual release at the distillery, so we should always be trying to make whisky that will be available to ship around the world. And last year, this won another gold medal at the International Wine and Spirits Championship Awards. So it's proving that it's a successful whisky for us, but hopefully for you too. So on that, I hope you enjoy. Please let me know how you get on, and cheers.